Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, Good morning, Leila. Yes, how the newspapers around the world are reporting the coronavirus. Starting with Nigeria, is the newspapers, the lead story, at last, federal government restricts travel from US, UK, France, 10 others. Records 5 new COVID-19 cases, shuts NYSC camps nationwide. Lagos suspend gathering above 50 persons, joins Northwest governors to close schools. Well, if we look at the Vanguard newspaper, yes, coronavirus, Lagos, Ogun going into lockdown. Both states ban gatherings above 50 persons in churches, mosques, as federal government bans travel from 14 countries, suspends visas. NYSC shuts orientation camp, says no COP member official infected. 5 new cases, including 6-week-old baby, confirmed. Total cases now 8. Address Nigerians on efforts to combat coronavirus. Senate urges Buhari. Yes, that's the last thing you were discussing. Whether the president should speak, whether his speech will inspire the nation or comfort the nation.
It won't.
It won't?
No.
Well, it will demonstrate empathy.
A bit too late.
Empathy.
Yeah, that should have, it's clearly not a priority. I think he has decided, it's clear that he has decided
no longer
to delegate that authority to other people and he's not going to address it directly. So him coming out now, I don't think will really make much of a difference.
And he has given that delegation to a boss.
It's just too late for it
Mustafa.
to be.
Exactly.
But somebody's in charge.
Yeah, he's delegated that.
But in any case, it's good to see that the authorities at various levels, Lagos, Ogun, all the northern states, including Kwara, Ekiti, Ondo states, the governors, they've all woken up, and we've seen them introducing measures. And we've been discussing this all morning before you joined us. And it's also, however, disturbing to note that, a political party yesterday held a rally in Ibadan. I think political...
Ibadan of all places.
Yes, yes.
Where
politicians should be told.
One of the cases who is now late spent 2 weeks
before moving on to Ekiti.
Yes,
I think it's important that politicians must also be told that they should not play politics with coronavirus. I've seen some statements by the People's Democratic Party and a counter statement by the All Progressives Party. Now, this is not something about partisanship. This is something that requires collective approach. And when I was reading those things being written, I think on Twitter, I thought, look, this is totally unserious.
Which is contrary to what is happening in South Africa, as we shall see later.
And holding rallies at this time, whether it's reconciliation rally or whatever it is wrong. Political leaders will be setting a very bad example. And those who issue those statements over how coronavirus is being managed should be giving suggestions and not attacking or, saying things that are just purely, trying to game the system for advantages.
It makes you wonder, because Ibadan is even one of the most populous cities that we have in Nigeria. You would have expected the government to have been one of the state governments that was proactive from the get-go, literally from months ago, not even from now. So it's really appalling.
Yeah, they dropped the ball there, for sure.
Well, the Nation.
No more rallies, until further notice.
The Nation newspaper. Churches, mosques, schools shut in COVID-19 lockdown. Lagos, Ogun ban gatherings of more than 50. Yes, you were talking about churches earlier, Ruben.
Yes. That you people still want to collect tithes.
No, tithe is not the issue. That's not the main issue of this of churches.
You want to continue to collect tithes.
Don't forget that the Lagos State Governor had meetings with leaders of CAN.
That's true, yes.
And before that decision was taken, which means all seem to be on board on that decision, because the health of one and all takes priority, in as much as we need the prayers of religious leaders and worshippers in these troubled times. But we can do it anyway. In fact, Tundu reminded me of a very valid quote in the scriptures. When 2 or 3 are gathered in my name,
there I am.
Yeah, so
you actually don't need more than 3 people.
You don't.
No, that is the quorum. The minimum,
Yes,
the
2 or
minimum.
3.
Yes.
So get together with
I'm
your
sure
family and pray.
most churches will not be opposed to this decision.
Mosques also.
Mosques, yes.
Jumat prayers tomorrow
Yes.
should be in clusters of
Because-
not more than 10 or 50.
Just do them on
They can
your
pray at home.
own. This
Yes.
is what I don't understand. Everybody needs
They
to
should
be
pray at
socially
home.
Record
distancing.
in
You know, do
Iran
it from
for the
home.
3rd consecutive week, Friday Jumat service ban
Yes.
in Iran. So we cannot be
And-
more Catholic than the Pope,
But
as
I-
he's used to say.
I hope it's actually enforced. I hope that if churches do go ahead, mosques go ahead, and actually do open for gatherings of more than 50 people, I hope there is actually enforcement to shut them down.
There
and they're
should
not
be.
going to be allowed to continue. Because what we're going to find is come Sunday, or even come tomorrow, we'll see traffic on the roads because of Juma. Come
There
Sunday,
should
we'll be
be
hearing noise decibels above the law. So really and truly, I hope the enforcement is the main thing here for me. Because
Well, maybe we then need a coronavirus task force
No,
across
I think,
the country
I think people,
to
religious
disperse people
No, religious-
when they gather in large
religious
numbers.
leaders should do the needful
Yes, they should be
Yes.
and
responsible.
comply with government decisions. It's for the good of all.
Look,
Exactly.
the matter is so serious that in the UK, they are planning to call in the army.
Yes,
20,000
people.
20,000.
Yes, so you can't just endanger
Troops.
the life of everybody because you want to pray.
Yes, okay.
Honestly.
Let's go to Daily Sun. The same lead story. Amid 5 new corona cases, federal government bans flights from US, UK, 11 others cancelled visa. Now, before we forget all other problems in this country because of coronavirus, below the photograph of course, you see the photograph of NYC coppers who are being discharged in court after that the camps were closed. But the story there, insurgency, Nigeria at war, that's the Senate. Because if this statement comes from a political party, you will get a barrage of responses from presidential spokesmen. But this is from the Senate, and the Senate Committee on Nigeria security challenges submitted its report yesterday. And they are calling that for the military to bombard the insurgents, air and land, because we are at war. But this is something the presidency don't seem to want to admit.
Yes, remember when we had that interview with the Chief of Army Staff, he said the insurgency phase is over, and what we now have is sort of sporadic terror attacks geared to just get a lot of press and make people afraid. That's really what we're dealing with, that they've conquered the insurgency, but apparently not according to the
This
Senate.
is the Senate Security Challenges, Nigerian Security Challenges Committee report, which was tabled yesterday at the Senate. So we are still at war.
It's true we're at war, but the war just got worse with coronavirus.
Yes.
You know, the
That's
U.S.
a war
president
too.
only yesterday was saying that he was going to, pull out wartime rules against the enemy called coronavirus. And even in the UK, coronavirus is regarded as an enemy. And, Boris Johnson has been talking about war, fighting this war.
No, you know who really struck me was Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
For her to invoke World War II, the Germans hate to even refer to it because of, the shameful role they played.
Yeah.
She said she compared this to World War II.
Yeah.
That is very serious.
honestly,
So insurgency is war at one level, and it's a continuing thing that the Nigerian authorities have to focus on. But the more urgent one that we face now is coronavirus. But I'm surprised, because the ISIS even gave an instruction that while the world is fighting coronavirus, ISIS fighters should not kill anybody.
I saw that.
You saw
Yes.
it?
Well,
Health advisory to terrorists.
well,
Charming.
let's move
So
on to
charming.
South Africa. The Star newspaper, what Nigerian politicians should be doing, united against COVID-19. Leaders of all political parties, you can see their photograph there, in parliament, they all are moving in one direction. Not
They're a bit too
even
close.
the EFF, the usually bellicose EFF, Julius Malema.
Yeah.
He was also towing the same direction, praising the effort of the health department, ensuring that they are all in this together. no
Mr.
one...
Efeni, don't you think that's too close
Standing
for comfort?
shoulder to shoulder. But some of them have got gloves on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's good, actually.
Yes, but I think the message is clear.
Well, I hope our leaders in Nigeria can learn from this.
Yes.
This is not the time to be
play
issuing
politics.
frivolous and irresponsible press
No,
statements
this is not time
over coronavirus.
Yes.
Everybody should come together.
Yes, but they are also fighting other issues in this fight. Infected family pose a threat. A family from Germany, they are still on the loose. They had contact with a case in Germany. They flew into South Africa and they are still on the loose right now.
They ran away from the isolation center.
They need to be detained.
So they are still trying to track them down. So that is another threat. But there's another threat. 2 law students trying to be lawyers even before they graduate. They are challenging the rule from Wits University that they should self-isolate, because there was a case of a medical student who had coronavirus, and they asked everybody to isolate. But 2 law students have gone to court to challenge that they should be allowed to go home.
The case will be thrown out.
Well, if we move over to the UK, of course, what we have been talking all day, the Daily Mail, schools out, exams axed,
Trevor Wrong.
deaths
That's the
soar,
title of a play by Trevor Wrong. Schools out.
army in. Of course, 20,000 from troops are already out as part of the effort to fight this coronavirus. Schools closed, all students sent home. Of course, they are making
Effective tomorrow.
Yes, but they are making provisions for skeletal services, school services for children of those who are on essential services, doctors, nurses, because you need to be with your children at home.
It's such a problem.
Yeah, so they are making provisions for those children. There will be skeletal school services arranged for.
And for those writing A-levels and the GSE,
Yes.
Prime Minister Johnson says maybe alternative means will be found to award them
to
grades.
award them
Yeah, we
grades.
had this conversation earlier.
No, but that should happen anyway, because when you write your A-levels and GCSEs, you have to take your mock exams, and the grades you get in your mocks are what they use to give you your predicted grades for university. So, I mean, don't let students have to wait a year. Come on.
Oh, but the people
Take
that
their
did
predictions.
So
badly in their marks.
they're on
those
top,
ones are
they're on
right,
top of
fine.
the situation, but of course the coronavirus seems to also be on the surge.
And there are plans to lock down the city of London.
Yeah.
That
I'm
is
calling the military
that is on the
to
card
secure
right
London.
now.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Efeni.
Thank you
Mr.
very
Efeni.
much.